Well, we've had a special treat here this evening at FrightFest as award winner and effects makeup artist Greg Nicotero has a chat to us with his friend Simon Pegg. Gentlemen, can you share with us what is it about human nature that attracts us so much to horror?
Blood. Our own mortality, you know, that kind of, that opportunity to experience fear without any real danger, you know. It's an interesting emotion, fear, because we only ever experience it just before something terrible happens. So to be given the opportunity to feel it in a safe place it's a ride, you know, and horror enables us to do that and explore certain, you know, rehearse certain ideas in our minds that we wouldn't ordinarily want to, you know.
And has such an impact. I was working with John Carpenter on a remake of Village of the Damned, and they put me up in a house that they said, oh yeah, this house, it's great, but you know, there's rumors that it's haunted. And I was like, oh, thanks, guys. So literally, I go to bed one night, and I close my eyes, and I'm laying in this room, and I just feel this horrible, it's all in my head. I had my eyes closed, but in my mind's eye, I could see skull and grinning teeth and these horrible eyes. And I opened my eyes, and I took my pillow, and I slept on the couch, and I went, screw that, I'm not sleeping in that room again. But it was the fact that I had my eyes closed, and there was this weird thing that I couldn't put my hand on, but every hair on my body was standing, and I was tingling, and it was this weird reaction of like, don't open your eyes. And I sat there for 20 seconds, I'm like, I don't want to know, it's there, she's going to eat my face, I just don't want to see it. And when you go to a horror movie and you have that same response where it's different because it's safe, you can actually watch it. But I love that people close their eyes and then the thing's over and they go, okay, what happened? They want the person next to you to go, okay, I didn't see it because I'm a pussy and I couldn't watch, but tell me what happened because I need to know.
The first time I ever stayed around at Greg's house, I stayed in a room that was behind a bookcase, up some stairs in what was called the Haunted Mansion Suite, right? This is the guy who obviously took that.
I stole that ghost from the house. That ghost was in the room. No, it's an amazing feeling that when you watch a movie and you tingle and you get scared, and you know, you watch like The Descent or the Blair Witch Project, which I saw, that was one of the first people to see that. In the end, it felt so real, and people were screaming, and that woman just screaming, and you see the guy standing in the corner, and it just creeps you out, and then it's over, and you're like, what?
It's a nice feeling. It's good to feel that and know that you're not going to die. You know, it's good to feel that sense of, you know, it's why we do things that are dangerous. It's why we go on rides. It's to feel something that we wouldn't ordinarily feel without genuine peril. And horror, really good horror, can you know, it can stay with you, you know.
And as filmmakers, is horror the genre that allows your creativity to have no boundaries and just let your imaginations go wild?
Well, it certainly pushes the boundaries. You know, the nice thing about the horror genre is no one's safe. The rules are very different. You know, in a musical or a Western or something, you know, you have traditional rules that you stand by. The horror genre, anything can happen, and if you have your audience and you know, once they commit to the journey and you have them, you can do anything you want and they'll go along with you. And I think that's a great opportunity to manipulate the audience. And most good filmmaking is like that. It takes you on a journey and you have to commit to going.
Is that how you feel as well, Simon?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, it just gives you a huge scope, you know, for creation, and you can obviously go into the very depths of your imagination and create whatever the hell's there, you know, what are the sickest creature, the most gory effect, you know. It's an endless possibility with horror, you know, and it's also fun, you know. It's also kind of the horror I really love are horror films like American Werewolf or Evil Dead, or, you know, films where if they get really just intense and nasty, I don't like them so much, you know. If it's just kind of like bludgeoning you with doomy murder, then, you know, I'm less inclined to enjoy those kind of films. I remember when I watched the film Wolf Creek, I had to watch Day of the Dead afterwards to cheer myself up.
You had to cleanse your palate.
Because that was just, it was an amazingly effective horror movie, but it was just densely, you know, horrific, and you know, that was less my cup of tea than something like Day, which is, you know, got bub in and shit like that, you know.
True.
What is it about the horror community? Because I think that's what I feel whenever we come to Fright Fest or Monsterpalooza in America and places like that. There is a real sense of community, and what is it about the horror audience that makes them so loyal?
I think it's a shared experience. When you're scared, having the opportunity to share that with someone else and talk about it, like how did they do that, and what did you think about that? You know, you don't really have there are festivals like this don't exist for other genres. You don't have a festival about westerns and a festival about music. There's something about the horror crowd and the people that love the genre that will bind together and will defend it. You know, the best arguments people get into is, oh, did you see that movie? I didn't like that movie. And then these horror people will just be like,
you have the fast versus slow zombie fight in the corner.
There is no fight. They're slow. They'll always be slow.
Also, no matter how sick and weird you are, if you go to one of these things, there'll be somebody there that's sicker and weirder than you. You can guarantee it. I'd like to meet the person who is the sickest, weirdest person here. Actually, no, I won't.
That's the contest that we need to have.